we will just listen to you what you have to say.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jhanvi Patel, and today I'm presenting you about the cloud computing and its role in higher education during the pandemic. This study I have carried out under the guidance of Professor Ghosh in distributed computing system last semester. So overall, the goal of this research study was to understand how cloud computing impacted the higher education during the pandemic. For this, I have considered the literature review on the existing uh, research work, and a survey was conducted on the students and the faculty members over here in JSU. So first of all, that comes with in my mind was the research questions. So the first research questions was to explore like from the previous study to get the details to reveal about what the benefits, the challenges, and the implementations were there that the researchers and the programmers have uh, developed and have figured out on the cloud computing in the higher education. The second question that comes in my mind was what changes have been seen after adapting the cloud computing in the education system. And the third one was the opinions of the stakeholders, that is the students and the faculties after utilizing them in their learning process and what new they want in the existing system. Before going to the literature review, the terms that is cloud computing, what it means that from the National Institute of Standards and Technology has defined that the cloud computing is a convenient resource pooling on-demand access which can be easily delivered with different types of service providers and interactions. So basically a cloud is an intricate network which connects the physical hardwares and the service providers, the storage devices and all over the internet. Internet itself can be considered as a cloud computing tool. It has a pay-as-you-go cost structure. That means whatever services you are utilizing, you have to pay for that only, not for the extra. Two models are there. That is the deployment model, which is more about the access and the storage of data, and the other is the service delivery model, which is more related to the business models of application services. Deployment model has the private cloud, public cloud, hybrid cloud, and the community cloud. It's more about accessing the data and storing the data in the storage. So as the name suggests, the private cloud and the public cloud, the access for the data are limited to the institutes for the private one. For the public is, example could be a Google. Google has their own cloud system and it can be accessed by the public as the Google Doc are there, Google Drives are there. So hybrid is more of the combination of private and the public cloud, and community cloud is more for the group of organizations where they can store their data and the access is limited to that group only. The service delivery model has the three types, that is platform as service, the software as service, and the infrastructure as a service. The e-learning platforms uses the cloud computing services technology, and it is an internet-based learning system that uses the technology to develop and execute and choose, manage, and facilitate and enhance learning. So it has the infrastructure of cloud computing, as I said, which allows the user to access the application using mobile, laptops, and tablets. Two types are there. Over here we are using Canvas. So Canvas is one of the LMS, which is a e-learning platform which provides the course management, content management, assessments and statistics, and live lecturing tools, that is the Team, Google Meet, Zoom, etc., which allows us to allows the screen sharing, live audio and video, transcripting, file sharing. E-learning and the higher education, during the pandemic, the more universities, the students have considered this platform. As for the survey of UNESCO conducted in 2020, it shows that 67% of classroom has been replaced with the e-learning platforms. And a survey conducted on the Iraqi university says that 99% of the students consider the cloud computing applications for education and the research work, and 93% of them uses the applications in the daily life. So the research review, literature review method that I have considered over here is the planning, in which research questions were designed for using the other step was the searching of the literatures. For that I have used the Google Scholar and the Google using the keywords cloud computing, higher education, e-learning applications. Based on that literatures and the research paper, I have done the analysis on the to get the answers for the research questions, and the last step is the organizations of the finding. The results are over here for the first question, that was the revelations about the benefits, challenges in the implementations. The benefits over here are the cost effective, availability, accessibility, security, minimal training is needed for learning the applications. The challenges are privacy and the security of the data, lack of adequate network responsiveness, the personal devices, the integrations and the service quality when the institutes are considering it for the first time. It is a challenge to accept it. The implementations were given, abstract proposals were given by the researchers based on different storage structures for private universities or public universities. They have considered the different deployment methods and the tools, the combinations for that. In China was the first to hit by the COVID. They have considered they have developed 22 platforms based on these different combinations, which includes the MOOC, that is massive open online courses like Coursera. They have used different technologies such as artificial intelligence and simulators and virtual reality for conducting the labs. The second research question was how the what were the changes have been seen in the education system after adopting the cloud computing. So the more and more institutes have started using it. One of the surveys says that 77% of the education institutes in USA depends on the cloud computing. It has enhanced the quality of education, which was reflected in the students' performances for the survey conducted by the UNESCO in 2020. And 80% of the students believe that e-learning tool will help them get their desired jobs and achieve their career goals. The third research question was to know about the opinions of the stakeholders after using the cloud computing applications in their learning process. For that, we have conducted the survey, and we have started with the IRB approval, and we have used the Microsoft Form, that is also one of the cloud computing applications. We have done the questionnaires about the existing applications that the participants use for learning and their views. We got 36 students and 4 faculties for the survey. These are the results, which shows that more than 75% of the participants prefer the online working criteria. Like they prefer online learning more than getting in person. The tools they have used were the Canvas, the Teams, Google Drive. They have described the usefulness in terms of the usefulness in the communication, collaborating with other people. The students were easy. Efficiently they can use it. With that, they have faced some challenges, and they have described that lack of system navigation. They get confused with navigating from one thing to other things, but they get confused with submitting their assignments and all. They have pointed out the Wi-Fi issue as well. The few features that they want to add in their existing applications was the offline. Few of them consider the offline collaborations as well. They have find out that message notifications were their problem. They want a better notification thing. They want mobile applications should be a very good mode that can be better enhanced in a way. From this, we have concluded that significant impact was there of the cloud computing in education system. Several concerning factors are there, such as data privacy and security, that was pointed out in the survey. Overall, cloud computing revolutionized the education sector by delivering services, and these are the references that I have used for the literature review. Lastly, I want to thank Professor Ghosh for guiding me and Professor Trifas for supporting me for this student symposium presentation. Thank you.
Questions for our presenter?
Were the people in your survey undergraduate students or graduate?
All of them, both,
So
like,
yeah, both.
yeah, graduate and undergraduate. Most of them were graduate, but there were students who were undergraduate. The survey was anonymous, so the personal information were not included, but though we have considered their whether they are the graduate or undergraduate.
Other questions? Let's thank our speaker.